Okay, hey, welcome back to Overtime Garage. We are about to attempt the logoing or signing of the shop truck, and to get ready for that, cut out this vinyl decal as a stencil, and I tested out this size and position by first of all cutting the reverse of this, and I put it underneath so you can see what that looks like. Now I'm just kind of measuring where that is. I'm going to adjust the size or the placement a little bit and put it on the passenger side. So let's get to it. Okay guys, so we got our decal applied, our stencil, and I used some little marks here, kind of help guide where I put it. There's a middle mark, and then there's an end mark. And notice this thing isn't on there that smooth. The bad part about big, wide stencils or solid decals over a curved surface is they don't want to lay down smooth. So, but the good part about what we're doing, since we're using one-shot paint to put the decal on, or the logo on there, is we can correct for that. So anywhere there's an edge, we'll just make sure that's nice and smooth, just like that. So the paint goes on, it doesn't see any weird wrinkles. And here's a look at the paint. Here we got this one-shot sign painter's paint. This is white. We're gonna go white, and then we're gonna do a separate decal that is red T for OT. Put the T here, and then I have some black as well if we want to do any sort of outlining or whatever. But we're gonna start with the white, get that on there and get it dry. We're gonna use some wax and grease remover as a semi-thinner, and I actually probably run it kind of thin so that it'll maybe look a little aged, maybe it'll fade a little bit. We don't want it to be super clean like it's brand new. We want it to be aged, so maybe go a little heavy on the thinner, and let's give it a shot. Okay, this is gonna be hard to see since it's white paint on a white vinyl decal, but I'm just showing you kind of the interim stage. And there is white paint. It's not completely 100% solid, which I'm okay with. You can kind of see through it in some places, but I think that's gonna go with the theme here. And I'm gonna pull the masking stencil right now, and then I'll let you look at the result. Okay, so here's the first corner. I'm pulling it up, has a nice clean line, crisp line. And I'm gonna need two hands to keep this going, so I'll be back. Here's another in-process look, and one of the reasons I want to take this masking off pretty quick, I pretty much painted and then started demasking right away, is that I want those edges to lay down clean and not get dried completely to the stencil. And then two, I don't want this material to stay on too long, because I was afraid it would pull some of the paint up, which it did in this spot, and there it is on the decal. So I kind of want to get that stuff off while it's still fresh and warm, and it's pretty warm out here tonight and got dark on me, so hopefully this headlamp is good enough lighting for it. But yeah, there it is. It's looking nice and crisp and clean, and wherever I'm able to pull it off clean, and if there are any wrinkles, you can see that's a spot where there was a wrinkle and it bled past. I'll have to touch that up, clean it up with some reducer, mineral spirits, or the wax and grease remover. There's a fingerprint mess up I did, so you gotta continually wipe your fingers off and keep them clean so that you don't smudge up your work area. But yeah, coming along, looking pretty good. Okay, there she is, all finished up and ready to dry. It's official. The Overtime Garage Shop Truck. And of course we still need to add our red tea, and gotta have our little name on there, but there she is. Not too shabby. Okay, hey, we're back in the OTG. We're gonna put this last piece of the logo in place on the door, and it's the T. I'm gonna do that in red, so it's just part of the logo, red T there. And I made a stencil using some clear vinyl, and I peeled, well actually because it's clear, I thought it might be hard to see against this background, but actually you can see it pretty well now, but it had a transfer tape over the top. This is the transfer tape. So I want to make sure I could see exactly where it was. Pulled off this backing paper, placed that, you know, exactly where I wanted, and then peeled the transfer tape. Threw that down, and now got ourselves a good outline for where this red paint will go. And here's what we're using again. One shot in bright red. Gonna reduce it with some wax and grease remover. I want to give it kind of an old, worn look, kind of like this. You can see the brush marks even in that. Go with the theme, so just a regular old brush there. Let's get it done. Okay, that didn't take long. We got the paint on there, and then really quick after it had dried, it flashed a little bit, got the masking or stencil off there, so there wouldn't be a chance of that bonding on there messing it up later. So good to go. We got our logo all finished. Liking it. Alright, we're going to do a little tailgate touch-up too. Just mask that off with some masking tape and trimmed around as best I could. Just a utility knife, so. And then I think I'll use the one shot again, the white one shot with a sponge foam brush, and see how that goes on. Okay, here we go with a mid-process look, and I was going for a real weathered, worn out look, and so got this foam brush, hardly any paint on it, and we're just doing an upward motion or downward motion so the strokes are all in one direction. And I wasn't covering 100%, I was letting it kind of wash out. So that's what we got here. Let's pull the masking, see what it looks like. Hopefully not too terrible. All right, here we go. Masking removed. Moment of truth. So yeah, that concludes our painting with a third grader episode. I'm actually really happy with it. I think it looks great. I put a coat of that linseed oil over the top of this tailgate. It's gonna kind of dull that out even more. It's kind of a bright white for trying to look old, look 50 years old. So I like it. Back in the Chevy business here. Sometimes I even surprise myself. There you go. There she is out in the wild with the fresh paint, all buffed, polished, linseed oil. Got the logos finished, got Chevy rocking on the back, on the tailgate. Yeah, it's a little bit of a cloudy day, but Rustilicious looking real nice. Did notice the linseed oil was a little darker than the polished area, so that's how that kind of turned out. I liked where the actual rust and bare steel is. Looks really good with the all oiled up. So good. Happy with the results. So if you'll support this channel, we'll keep it going. We'll keep on finishing this up and doing new stuff on it all the time, and then we're working on the next version of these guys too. 50 Chevy and a 54, so check us out, keep in touch.